Angela Fisketeer number 009, and I'd like to share with you a very quick way to make a headband for any occasion using an old t-shirt, a pair of scissors, and just a needle and thread, or if you have a sewing machine that'll make it go a tiny bit faster, and that's all you're going to need. So let me show you the t-shirt I picked out. I actually got this on sale, believe it or not, at the thrift store yesterday because I decided to do a 4th of July theme. That's the holiday coming up, and I want to make my daughter a little headband. So instead of using a t-shirt we had laying around, I picked one because I liked the fabric and because it was $1. So what we're going to do with this t-shirt, you can see it's pretty wide at the bottom, so this is going to make about 2 or 3 headbands that look really nice and finished. And you can use the rest of the fabric on this t-shirt to create all kinds of headbands if you want. But you'll see why I'm just going to use the bottom hem. And that's because it's already finished for me. So the factory sewing looks fantastic. That's the front of my headband that I'll wear towards the front, so it'll look like I've already sewn the whole edge. But because this is knit material, I don't really need to finish any of the seams because the fabric's just going to nicely roll and it won't fray. So t-shirts are the best. So for this project, you're going to need to grab an old t-shirt that you don't need anymore, a pair of scissors. If you like to be really precise, we're going to cut a strip about 2 inches all the way along the bottom to create a strip of fabric to be our headband. You can use your rotary cutter, your rotary mat, and an acrylic ruler and just go ahead and do that rotary cut all the way up the top, and that will make it very precise. But instead of me getting out all my sewing gear, we don't have a lot of time before we head out for our preparations for the 4th of July holiday, so I'm just going to use a pair of scissors. Let me grab those. So I have my Fiskars cutting scissors, and let's assume that I'm going to cut a 2-inch strip nicely, and I'll do that in just a minute so you can see how I do that. But I want to see how long that headband needs to be. So everyone has a different head shape, so you need also an assistant or the person you're making your headband for. So come on in, Mini-Me. Let me borrow you for a second. So you can see my little Mini-Me here. I think, can they see you? Just in case. And what I need my Mini-Me for is, I'm actually going to take this headband, or this t-shirt, and I'm going to wrap it around her head at the edges like this. And that's going to tell me how long I need to make her headband. And when you're doing this measurement, make sure you stretch the fabric because you want to give it a nice stretch so when you wear it, it's a nice secure headband. So let's get to the sewing part, okay? And I'm going to need my assistant for that too. You'll see why in 1 minute. So are you ready to go to the sewing machine?
Yeah.
Here we go. So here I have the t-shirt that I got at the thrift store laid out in that fun red, it kind of looks like firework pattern. And I meant to just use my scissors and cut along the 2 inches to make that the width of my headband. But sometimes I surprise myself. I'm not a perfectionist, but since I have the right tools, I decided I would be happier to have a really nice straight line. So I am going to use my Fiskars rotary cutter and an acrylic ruler to get the nice crisp edge that I can get with that. And it is actually faster than a scissors, to be honest with you, if you already have it laying out. So you can see I'm doing approximately like about 3 inches. The shirt bows a little bit, but that's going to be okay. You'll see I'm not going to use the full length. So I'm going to take my rotary cutter and I'm going to pull the release down so that my blade is free. And this always reminds me of getting to cut a pizza. And that's it. So look at how straight, nice. So this is the width of my headband. And now I just have to take that measurement to get the length of it that I measured on my daughter's head. And then we're just going to sew 1 seam in and we're done. Except for a little decorating, we will have a darling 4th of July headband. Okay, now we're at the sewing machine portion. So you can see that I've taken the strip of fabric from the t-shirt, measured it to my daughter's head. I'm taking the pretty sides, or the outsides or right sides, together. So you're seeing the raw edge here, and I'm just going to put a little stitch along here. But I'm going to use my assistant one more time because Rebecca taught me a trick when we were sewing pillowcases for Conquer Cancer a few years ago, that the adult can what do we call, oh, we call it can drive the sewing machine, but you can have your assistant put on the gas for you. So wave your hands. Which one's Bob?
This one's Bob, this one's Steve.
Okay, so Bob and Steve are helping on this project too, and all I'm going to do is lay my headband in here, and kind of go slow, so Bob and Steve hit it. Go for it. A little bit faster. Good. Now I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Okay, now go forward. Now you guys can go fast. Woo. Now stop, and we're going to go backwards a little bit. Go ahead.
Fast.
Medium. Now we're done. Okay, so that is all it took. We have a nice circular headband ready to go, and all we need is a little bit of decoration, and this will be perfectly appropriate for a holiday headband. Okay, we're almost done. I'm just adding some embellishments, and I'm just taking them from my craft room. So I used a little bit of tulle, and I made the same kind of fabric flowers from the tutorial I have. You can check it out on YouTube. And I just twisted and twisted like a fabric flower with the tulle, and then I just sewed an X right through my flower. And then I have some pom-poms that I'm going to add on here. And I even have some brads that I've had for, gosh, I don't even know how long, but it's a nice little star with blue, so that'll be cute. So I'm just going to use some Aleene's fabric glue, and I'm ready to go. And I'm going to use my Fiskars Cuts and More scissors because I'm going to cut off the bottom of that brad, glue it on, and we're ready. Okay, so that's how you make it. One t-shirt. We made 2 headbands, but we could have used the rest of the t-shirt, made more and more and more strips and made headbands. And you can also make some of those fabric flowers with the same t-shirt. You can get a ton of headbands out of an old t-shirt. So let me show you Mini Me. Here's how we ended up. And she has her headband on with the cute little cuties on there. And I thought it was so cute that I made a matching one. So we are ready to hit the 4th of July parades this weekend, aren't we, Mini Me? Say goodbye.